stream. How loud do I have this up? Really, really quiet. What was I doing? Quiet for me. I did plug my headphones in, right? Yeah, okay. Hi, guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. Anyways, it's Tuesday's art stream. So today I am working on Patreon rewards. I'm starting with the Chibi reward for the month, which is the winner chose Deedlit. So super exciting for me. I had some good reward stores in this month. I'm very happy. Now the poll winner makes me squint a bit. It's actually really funny. I was like, I didn't even expect him to get one vote and he won. And I was like, okay. Like no tiebreaker this time. He actually legit won. Ah, I love you. Eh? Oh my gosh. So Wong just finished the single player story on Monster Hunter Rise, and he was like, "Oh, they're waving at me," and he's like, "No, no, they're not." Like, oops. Actually, my other Patreon reward is Monster Hunter Rise related. So I already drew. I did all. I just spent most of the day just drawing out my sketchbook today. So. Okay. I think so. Gotta figure out which one. Wait, did you say hand me store down one? One? Does that mean there's a second one? I already finished the solo player a while back, but I didn't pay attention to the name of the sword. I just was like, I'm never gonna play with this. So Deedlit was like my first elf girl love. Started it all. It's all her fault. She was one of those that was like on my bucket list, my cosplay bucket list forever, and I finally made her. I want to redo it, but it was cool. It was fun. Hmm. I'm hoping to get caught up on some. I got some more commissions that came in, which I need. So thank you everyone for commissioning me. I appreciate it. But when I get caught up in that, I want to start working on my 2D model for myself too and see how that goes. Play around with the rigging. I just lost my slipper. I'm kicking my footstool. I'm very good at this. Being an adult, being alive. It's so hard. I haven't been having the best health days, so. I'm gonna sneeze. Bless me. I sneezed. I have sneezes. allergy season is not treating me well. You know, it's funny. I was always told that like I'm most allergic to like ragweed when it comes to outdoor allergies, like really badly allergic. But I've been checking the ragweed count, and we have no ragweed counts right now. So I don't know what the heck's bothering me. Just spring, I suppose. How dare you? Flowers, go back. Go away. Nah, I have nothing against flowers, generally. I'm allergic to a bunch of them, but that's fine. For me, it's not Hanayori Dango. No, wait. Maybe it is. Anyways, give me food over. I know it's supposed to be Dango as in boys, but give me food as over flowers, please. I want to try making Dango myself, but it looks complex. Try it at some point. Maybe have Kohaku over and we'll make some Dango. Maybe we'll even stream it and so you can hear us screaming. I tried to get Kitten to come over for Valentine's Day this year to do a chocolate making stream, but she didn't wanna. Which is fine. I was really last minute deciding, and I was like, dude, we could be so dumb and make chocolate in my kitchen. I mean, if you guys have ever made quote unquote homemade chocolate, it's basically just melting a bunch of chocolate, adding some stuff, and then putting it in molds, so it's not particularly hard. But she's got these cute little like car molds. One looks like the Hachiroku from Initial D. The Toyota Corolla AE86. Yeah. Honestly, I think inking the line art like this is my least favorite part. Even traditionally inking it, I just like doing the sketches, coloring more than anything. Save off it. I've got an interesting question. Does Deedlit's headband show in the back? It doesn't, does it? Ugh. Magical hair that makes no sense. But when I cosplay her, I clearly have to have it in the back. Yeah, it's just magical, makes no sense. You know how it is. Magic. Magic. That's okay, Deedlit. I forgive you. He's not like I can say I'm any better. Calic's headband, like his wrap, the bandages around his eye make no sense because they should be more noticeable in the back. When I was drawing this Deedlit, I was just like, wow, I feel like I'm having like this overwhelming sense of deja vu. Like I Wong started singing Deja Vu from Initial D. No, I was like, I feel like I've drawn her before, and then I was like, right, I did. For that character challenge thing I did last year. I never got around to finishing the rest of it. I lost steam on stuff. I will say, Record of Lotus War really confused me as a kid too, because I watched, you know, the 13 episode OVA series or whatever first, which is I think the one that came out first, and then the 27 episode TV series. But it's confusing because like at one point, you know, they start reintroducing characters, but they're acting like stuff already happened, and then like one of the characters that was already dead is back, and I was like, what? But yeah. I don't know if that was just me as a kid or if that still is true now. I have to rewatch it at some point. I was really excited because they actually released a new Deedlit figure last year. It's just like a model kit scale thing, but it was cool. Max Factory did it, and I was just like, oh my god, Deedlit! Rana Faye and I both ordered it so fast from Akiba still. I honestly didn't even pay attention to what it was. I was just like, it's Deedlit, I need it. That was back when I still had money. I should say I still had a job, so. Yeah, even my style of drawing elf ears is influenced heavily by this. I think Record of Lotus War and Slayers actually had a major impact on my art style that I didn't even realize about. I mentioned Slayers because, you know, this Saturday is the Slayers karaoke. Slayer themed karaoke. So I have been listening to Slayer songs nonstop. I'm trying to find more of the Image albums. Hi, RTD. Like for some reason, my iPod ate like half my playlist of Slayer, so I only have 24 songs in there. And I was like, I have like the only Image song that managed to survive were a couple of Lena's, and then Philia's. And I was like, okay. And then I know I have a Zelgoddess one on my iPod, but it's not in that playlist for some reason. So I'm like, what are you doing? Because it's played before. But yeah. I want to be able to sing any song people ask me from Slayers. I also want to try to coerce Wong into learning the male parts of Slayers for the future with me. Because, you know, it's all four of them singing. He's got, what, like 4 days? Years? But yeah, I actually Record of Lotus Tour. You know, I mean, the lyrics are on the screen. That helps, right? He doesn't have to have the words memorized. Actually, one of my weird cosplay goals is to one day get a Slayers group together. I want to do Lena. I'm way taller than her, but I still want to do her. She's my favorite, another bucket list cosplay character for me. I was gonna do her for Ren Fair, and replace, because Deedlit's my run to go to Ren Fair right now, but I was gonna replace her with Lena, but I didn't have money, and then, you know, nobody's going to Ren Fairs right now for the obvious reason. But yeah, my weird goal is to get a whole Slayers group together, just the forming cast and do Slayers for the future at karaoke, all in character. Guess, you know, it's for character image song, so. I used to joke that if I couldn't get enough people, I would just use sock puppets. Because one of my friends and I keep joking about doing Lena and Amelia from the Otome no Inori version because we're normal. We could do their normal outfits, or we could do Sailor Scout outfits. We're gonna learn that song together at some point, though. I also want her to learn like Get Along with Me or something too. Play songs. Hayashibara Megumi is like one of my all-time favorite singers, so anything she does. I am so excited about the new Shaman King opening. It's not that great of a song compared to some of her other stuff. I guess you should say compared to the first openings and second opening. Sock puppets, yeah. Well, because there's 4 characters. If we only didn't have enough, we just fill in the blanks with sock puppets and make them sing. Really bad ventriloquy, because I can't ventriloquy. Actually, I made a bunch of finger puppets before. Are you familiar with the series Mix'em 11 at all, RTD? Okay, so it's a more obscure series. It's by one of my favorite mangaka, Anze Nobuyuki. He's best known for probably Flame of Recca. In the US, I'm not sure what he's best known for. That's one of his biggest, but he also did Mirror and some other series, including Mix'em 11. Well, I was a scan leader for a while. I still kind of am, but I did translation. So Mix'em 11 was one of our big projects. While it was running, we did the entire thing. Anyways, so the main character, Ichimatsu, like, so each of them have, like, it's based on around the zodiacs. And so each of the characters, it's a really obscure series. I would have been more surprised if you had heard of it. But each of the characters has like a zodiac power based on it has a power based on one of the different zodiacs, and they all are interpreted different ways. But anyways, basically their power is used through an item that means something, like that's something precious to them. And so the main girl that he's, obviously they're kind of crushing on each other but won't admit it kind of thing, made him these really ugly sock like finger puppets when they were young, and he sees them as like good luck. So he brings those, and his powers, he has 5 finger puppets, and so those become his power set based on like each one has a slightly different power and gives him like a different ability. So yeah, but I cosplayed I actually cosplayed the alien character who grants him the power, Kalmina, with a friend. Rana faded one of the other characters whose most precious thing was a PSP, so his power was video game related. And then my old Komi who I don't like talk to anymore, but who actually I used to be my best friend for the longest time. She was Ichimatsu, the main character. So I helped her make the finger puppets. I still have them because I made them, so I kept them. But yeah, so I made those finger puppets, and it was funny. We used what is it? Like beer pong balls. So what are they? Ping pong balls for the heads. And then I just made little sleeves for the fingers, and then I decorated them because they each had like Tongari has a horn, Mr. Dandy has like a top hat. I think Mr. Dandy's one with a top hat. One of them looks like, I think Lucky Leo is his name. I can't remember all their names. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've talked Mix'em, but so yeah, no, I have those. My favorite is Dandy's power. It was called Dandyism, and it had the ability to turn like anything into a weapon kind of thing. So they're at a beach fighting when he first uses it, and trash on the beach. So he picks up something random, and it just happens to be a spork. So yeah, I have a 6-foot spork somewhere. Because I also kept the prop for that. We made a spork for her. I should say I made a spork for her, but she upped a little. I still have an entire like armory of props in my parents' house that I will go through and probably throw out most of or sell or get rid of, whatever, if any of them are even worth anything now. Because when I cosplayed, I would go all out and make all the props. Like I actually made a waiver from One Piece. Although I was really upset with that, not making it. I didn't have time to do 100% of what I was gonna do, so we ended up kind of rush finishing. And instead of doing it was built actually out of a skateboard as a base, so it rolled. And like I instead of like I looked at scooters and I couldn't find one cheap enough, so I used a skateboard and drilled a hole through it and put a handle in. And then used a PVC pipe and made my own little handle thing. The light on it was actually a flashlight that eventually got stolen because I say stolen, but as in we repurposed it because we needed an actual flashlight for something, so we just took it off. But it was going to be all wood, and I ran out of time to finish it, so instead of wood, I just did like cardboard for the sides to finish it. And then we took it to Otakon, which was back when it was in Baltimore, so that was a 13-hour drive, 13-hour drive with a giant fake boat in the back of the car. It was big enough for me and Comey to both ride in it, so. And then yeah, one of the people who rode with us decided she was going to bring a sewing machine and didn't tell us. So we managed to get everything in, but on the way back, she had picked up a bunch of like commission stuff she was going to work on, and once again, did not talk to us first. But the only way we could get it all in is I had to break my waiver to get it in, so I was really upset about that. I had to take off the sides. Now my favorite thing is to make dumb props for things. If I'm gonna cosplay, I want some kind of prop, but I'm okay if it's a dumb prop. I prefer it. Like I'll make like plush toys and stuff to go with it if it's an option. But I will also do things like when we did Attack on Titan, I made the Jean horse with the "what is it, Aaron" face on it. If you've never seen that, I terrified so many people with it. It was glorious. Yeah, I've had some. I mean, with the amount of cons I've been to, I have surprisingly far less horror stories about things like that than you'd expect. Yeah, I mean, she's not the only one I've had that happen with. Like, I actually nowadays, like, whenever, well, not that we're going to cons anymore, but the last couple times I went to cons and people asked for rides, I would be like, okay, here are my rules. Here's what you can bring. Here is the size of your luggage. Mostly not because I'm trying to be, like, mean or anything, but, like, I usually do Artist Alley at these, so my Artist Alley stuff takes up a lot, and I can't really afford, or I couldn't really afford conventions and stuff without it. I'm like, guys, this is like work for me. And I mean, I bring cosplay too, but it's like, no. Oh yeah, the scaring was priceless. So it was actually at Youmacon in Detroit a couple of years back, or whenever the last Youmacon was actually held before the pandemic. So Wong and I, he did Mikasa. Yes, he did Mikasa and I did Armin. He just reversed the gender a bit. But so we're sitting at my Artist Alley table, and like he's got his face totally covered, so nobody can tell he's a dude. It freaks him out. So with that one, so he always hides behind the scarf, like Mikasa kind of never does. She has a scarf. But anyways, so like we're sitting on the table, and like he's not saying anything, just looking really stoic. And I'm always greeting people because you gotta make them buy your art. Plus, I like talking to people at cons. That's like it. But like this one girl at one point came up and she's like, "Oh my god, you guys are the cutest things ever." And then she walks to the other side of my table, and I have the Jean horse sitting on my table, but you couldn't see his face until you got to the other side because his head is at a tilt. And then like so she gets to the other side, and then suddenly you just see her expression drop, and she's like, "I hate you guys." And like her friend is like, "What? What's going on? Why do you hate them? What did they do? No, you're just being so nice." And then she's like, "Look at that stupid horse." It's like, I'm so glad. And even the amount of people who grabbed our photos and didn't realize what I was carrying in my hand. Like, yeah, it's a horse. It's Jean the horse. My goal is to be random. To be fair, my first idea was to carry around a fire extinguisher, so I think this one is a little less mean. And I'm not going to explain that one if you haven't seen Attack on Titan. I had the series spoiled for me, which is why I didn't watch it for the longest time, and then I accidentally marathoned it all before the second half of season 3 came out. But, yeah. I don't know if I'd recommend it, though. Armin's good. But I wasn't Sasha. That's Sasha's thing, not Armin's. If I ever see a Titan, I want to go arm in, arm out, and try to stick my hand in his mouth. There are Titan cosplayers in this area, sometimes. I think most of them are technically like, well, we get, and eat potatoes? I mean, I always eat potatoes. That's not that unusual. I was trying to make it relevant to the character, funny and relevant to the character. That's why my first idea was fire extinguish, and their second idea was the Jean horse. With the what is it Aaron face on it. I haven't shown you that. I'll have to remember to share it in Discord at some point. I mean, the horse itself, if you guys have ever watched Akiba's Soul streams, has popped up on many of those. It lives in the office right now. Hands. I don't like drawing hand. I wonder if I made her pinky too small. I guess it's actually bigger than I thought it was. I'll make it a little taller though. It's bent a little bit, so it's weird looking. I mean, it's a hand, so it's weird looking. I don't like that. Okay. Now, faces are my favorite thing to draw. I like drawing their really silly expressions best, though. This is not a really silly expression. That. Oh, I forgot to do that with her eyelashes. Oh, let's get rid of it all. Oh, goodbye. She's got that weird, like really super long lash. That's thicker. The only character I'd do that with are Turl and Hyene from Desert Tracer. There's no actual reason why Turl has the very similar eyes to Heine. If anything, he was designed first. Oh my god, that looks horrible. Ah! That's too long. That's better, I think. Like Wong, I don't have a lot of weird stories about my childhood. I was a fairly normal, overworked kid. Make this. I'm trying to keep myself from going off the thing. Maybe over a little bit. I really wanted to play video games all day, but I was good and behaved and actually did work. Maybe I probably should have taken a break because I pain day, but my mom yelled at me for taking the trash out when she got here to help me take boxes Rocky was told. She's just like, you shouldn't have moved it. You're hurting. Like, yeah, but trash day's tomorrow. And our trash can needed to be emptied. I regretted it, but I need to send out, you know, some Patreon rewards still, but somebody hasn't told me what they wanted yet. I guess I don't have to actually send them together. I just like to. Thinking about it because I had to send out a bookmark order today for Etsy. Yeah, I never really advertise it, guys, but I have an Etsy too. So, yeah. I want to add something with the Horan Bunny art to it too. I'm not sure if I want to do like stickers or if I want to try to look into doing like acrylic keychains. I'm undecided what I want because I want something with it. Leaning towards stickers, although the acrylics are nice. They're just more expensive. I jokingly said if I got one more person on Patreon during the when I shared that Horan Bunny. Yeah, no, I want to make sure you guys get your Patreon rewards. I mean, I know it's going to be redundant, so that's why I'm like, eventually, I'm trying to switch out the designs as much as I can, or at least add stuff in as I can. I'm actually debating about in the future, like putting the chibis I've done for like the Patreon rewards as options for like the bookmarks and stuff too, because you know they're done specifically for Patreon, and that means that's the only way you can get them. But hoping to have 9S finished for next month, so he'll be an option too. We'll see. I had all the time in the world to get him finished, and now I don't. Because commissions. The commissions are good. The commissions are good for me, so I won't complain too much. I'm just being, Oh man, Chibi Ficus bookmark, here it comes. Yeah, if I did it though, it'd only be limited to people on Patreon, so it wouldn't be like you guys could like buy it somewhere else, so. I actually really like it too, because I get to draw a bunch of things that I wouldn't normally draw, and some things I don't even know. I know, right? Everyone would want a Chibi Ficus bookmark. I'd just be selling out, man. Maybe I could make enough to buy a PC. You thought Intel processors were big? Never tried Ficus processor. Actually, the bookmarks are easy because I can make those in-house. One day I'll set up my silhouette cutter to do it too. I cut them all by hand right now, guys. So with that said, I have I know I'm undoing stuff again. I have like a stockpile of some of them built up because I used to go to cons with them, so. For those of you guys who are on my Patreon, the ones that you see as like, what is it called? Like the active ones or whatever is the ones that tended to go to cons with me. Everything else stayed home. Well, the retiring ones did at first, but I've just decided to retire them this year. I've been wanting to get rid of them for a while anyways. I want to bring out more designs. But I had too many designs, so I'll actually move that one down. Also, some of the designs just weren't selling anymore because, you know, they were old. Ironically, one of my oldest designs is still one of my best sellers. I don't know why. The Oran Host Club, actually. It was designed back in 2007, I think. My guess is the reason for its popularity is simply because it's, I think it was a gateway anime for like a bunch of people in that era, that generation, and they still go to cons, and people get really excited about it, and it's only $1.50, so they tend to buy it. Yeah, I'm not super big into Oran anymore. I never really was. I did read the manga for a while. I never watched the anime, only read the manga. But, you know, when it got to a year passing in time and they're like, we're just going to go back and pretend that, like, part of, like, the time change stuff doesn't matter so we can keep the characters from graduating. I was like, okay. I get it, but it was weird. Although, you guys are on Patreon and the $10 tier, you know it won the, March poll. I drew that today too. I got the both Patreon rewards and that. Here? Here? Here what? Here's how you keep them from graduating. They all failed? What about murder? I don't know. I'm not the writer of it. I age my characters up. I kill my characters. You guys should know. Ficus, you've died what, twice? They could be like necromancy. You murdered doesn't mean they're gone. Only twice. I'll have to work harder. No, that was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. I didn't actually have a name for the plant demon, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna name it Zacharias. I'm gonna do it. So I did. Or on in purgatory. Kiss Kiss Fall in Hell? Layers. Name your layers. That's an eraser. Nothing's gonna draw with an eraser. I'm moving that because I don't like its placement. Well, that looks better, I think. Maybe I'll shrink this one a little bit too. Alright, cool. Flesh marks. You notice I save often. Okay. Go ahead and look closer at some of my reference now. Yeah, like I draw from references and then like I don't know, somehow they get messed up when I ink, so then I have to redo stuff. Or I guess I should say I get lazy and skip stuff. You think I'd know her design better too, since, you know, I did make this costume at one point. It's on the wrong layer. Wrong layer! Okay. Hide you for now. I'm gonna go at layer. Take two! I think I'll draw this first and then just erase the parts I don't want. Sounds like a plan. All according to Keikaku. Actually had a plant plants. I don't even know what the heck that meant. A chance to play the Record of Lotus War, like Deedlit's Labyrinth game that came out. I own it. I actually pre-ordered it at like beta or whatever, so I've had it for like ever. But I have not actually played it yet. I've just had it forever. I'm really bad at that. But I definitely I own it all. That's my convenient place to watch it. I don't think it's up on any of the streaming sites, but I could be wrong. It's definitely due out for like an upgraded version or something. I mean, I have the original like DVD for the DVD disc for the 13 episode series, and then for the 27 one, I have it on VHS. But yeah, I would not be surprised if it was on something. The only one I don't actually go on Crunchyroll a lot, but I do have that, and then I have Netflix, which is probably the one I use more. But I do not believe it's on either of those. I don't think I ever rented a video from a library. In fact, I probably didn't even rent videos until I was an adult at all, and I did it from like Redbox by that point. Guys, I'm sorry I didn't have a childhood. I just appeared as an adult. No, I'm kidding. I think by the time manga started hitting my library, I was already past the point of no return. Buying my stuff all the time instead. I do know I used to tutor a kid in Japanese at the library, and so we'd meet up there, and he always would be like taking tons of manga out, and then of course My mother often wanted to come with me when I went tutoring because she could sit there in the library and read manga. Prior to that, like way back in the day, I would go to Borders to read manga. They were always giving you those coupons, so we were always coming home with manga. It was great. Yeah, like we never even did like movie rentals at like Blockbuster or anything. I know it existed. A friends did, but not me. Yeah, right? Fancy bookstore. That doesn't exist anymore. I miss my Borders. We'd go out there with our, they had the cafe, you just go get a drink and spend hours reading. We never really had a Barnes and Noble though. Yeah, we never had a Barnes and Nobles. We never had a Walden. We still don't even have a half price, but we do have Second and Charles, which is similar now. It opened up much later, but I like Second and Charles. I've bought my entire series of detective dog books from there, and yes, it's a detective story that has a dog in it. The dog is not the detective, but he thinks he is. No, not Sherlock Bones. It's oh, I don't know what the name of the series is called, but like the first book is Dog on It. Like Dog on It, but it's Dog on It. I saw it. It was like $2. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. It sounds hilarious, and it's actually really well written. So it was worth it for sure. The books are always cheap there, so I'm like, I'll buy more dog books. Generally, I read more serious mystery stories, but even sometimes I just want something dumb like that. They're also pretty easy reads, which is nice. No, it's well written in the story. It's just basically you're seeing the entirety of the stuff from a dog's point of view. So so as you can imagine. For a while, I just felt like I didn't have time to read much, any period, but I've gone back to reading somewhat more regularly. So I'm reading Sea Stalks, the latest one in the Justin Files series, which I've only had since it came out, nothing big. Oh, this shape is. Is that better? I think that's better. Yes, my hobby is drawing lines and then ignoring them. Sometimes they actually like can be more confusing. I definitely like to point out that as a writer, I like to read books that are not from the genre I am writing when I am writing. So you don't. It's very easy to accidentally kind of like pick up something that you don't think about and then kind of like not necessarily outright copy it, but borrow from it to the point that it's a little rough. Or in my case, what I tend to do is I start writing in the style of whoever I'm reading, and not in my own style. Ah. She has two hands, like most people. One of my least favorite things about cosplaying Deedlit was always the wrap. Such a pain in the butt to put on and off. I was meant to sew it in, but I never did. I'm very much that kind of person. I meant to do this. That finger looks horrible. Don't worry, guys. I have no idea what I'm doing again. That should be good enough, I guess. Gonna keep changing stuff otherwise. Alright, let's go for the feet. She's not even like really wearing shoes, they're just like way tight around her feet. That can't be comfortable to walk around with. At least I don't think it would be comfortable. I do not like walking around barefoot. Not even super keen of open-toed shoes. That looks better, I think. I didn't know that I got that stuff done. I can actually get her league in here. Ooh, taking a self stretch break, posture check. Now back to her little tie things. Cat, here. She's entered the petting zone. Had to get pet. Alright. Well, thank you for the subscribe. Alright, now we can do her other leg. Ah. Most people have 2 legs. Astonishing, isn't it? Oh no, you broke it. That's okay. Thank you for stopping by. It just was like, nope, not today. I need to get like better at doing raids myself. I always forget how to. Again, most people aren't really on at the time of get off. I raided Zillary once, but I like to late night stream. Yeah, and your Saturday streams always like are smack dab in the middle of Akiba's soul time for me. Yeah, you better be sorry. No, that's actually why I didn't choose Saturday as one of my days, or as my day, because I was like, there's no way I can do that. Occasionally I've been able to put you on in the background at least while I was doing stuff. I've also noticed I'm not getting like notifications from everyone's streams anymore either, even though I have the notifications turned on, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Just Twitch being Twitch? Yeah, seems to make sense. Which, how could you? Keep hearing some random noise like partially, but not enough to make sense of it. I wonder, maybe it's my headphones making the fan sound weird. It also seems like more people are having issues just in general with internet connectivity and too and stuff. I mean, I know with like, yeah, you can. No, I'm not gonna let you see this. You can't see this. What, you act like it's for you or something. I will zoom out. I went with like a cutesy happy pose because why not? I have no idea what I was doing. But obviously, I got a little too into this because, you know, Deedlit. I love it too. Deedlit powder. Powder? I don't even know what that means. Power. I brain dead. I was very happy that this is what you requested, so I was like, yes. This month is a good month for Patreon rewards. Not saying other ones haven't been, because I've had some really fun stuff to draw. It was just like I'm very excited about both of these. You can never draw too many elves. It's like you're in a Deedlit mood or something. Like you do it yourself. I was on that stream. I mean, it's Deedlit, who isn't? Pretty sure like so many of us started with Deedlit as our first anime, official anime elf, even if, you know, we started with like Link or something. I think Deedlit was the elf of the time. Not a little bit for these inner lines. Horrible. Wow! It popped. I heard it pop. Pa pa pa. A fan got unplugged. I mean, to be fair though, I think my entirety of my art style was heavily influenced by the 90s and it shows. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah, like I really like some of the there are some amazing artists out now, but I've also noticed there's a lot of artists that just everything looks the same, even if they're all amazing, they're all doing the same style. And I mean that was kind of the case with even back in the 90s, but one of the things I really liked about the animation style overall and like even like not just artwork but like animation was that there was always some variance to the animation. It tried to not necessarily entirely matched the manga, but it was, you know, more so. Yeah, there's definitely more variety and personality. Because I know when it hit me really hard where the main animation style change was actually around the time of Gundam Seed. When that particular animation studio that did like Sokyu no Fafner and Gundam Seed and some other stuff were bringing out anime, and I was like, wait, what? They all look the same. Like, one thing to you know, do your studio style or something, but it's another thing when, you know, you can't even tell characters from two different series apart. I was a little unsure of the new Higurashi series because of that, because it's the Monogatari art style for the animation, but I think they did well enough that it works. I've only ever seen that series in that animation style too, which helped. So it wasn't like, you know, some of these where I've seen like a gazillion styles already. We have one episode of the new Higurashi to finish. We've been watching Gundam Age. This one is probably going to be one of my lowest Gundam ratings in a while. It's fun, but not good. Still going on our Gundam marathon. We're getting close to the end though. I'm also really kind of tired of reboots. Like, honestly, the Shaman King one I'm interested in purely for the fact that the initial anime never finished the manga. But I'm also like, I'm trying to think which ones got rebooted. Oh, well, like FMA, when that one they did Brotherhood, I was really upset with how they handled Brotherhood. Yeah, and then like some of the ones that they're doing are really random. I know Senkai Hoshin Engi got a reboot. I haven't watched that one yet either. And same with Orphan. I need to watch both of those. But then, you know, there's also that part of me that's like, my babies. I know in both cases, like, well, when I heard Orphan was getting a new anime, I was really upset that it ended up being like, I know it's more of like supposed to be like a past thing and then up to reboot because it's more looking at him as Kiriranshio from what I hear. But I was hoping it was going to do the Kogi Bogi stuff because honestly, they were much more amusing traveling companions than Cleo. Or even just doing Orphan Max would have made me happy because that's all magic focused. Like the character, not. And obviously the whole series of Orphan is magic focused. Oh yeah, they still haven't done the last two. They never animated the last two storylines in Ghost Hunt either. Ghost Hunt was one of those ones that was super well done too. Like overall, as somebody who's read the light novels and the manga, like there really wasn't much change between the light novels or the manga because the original writer had a lot of say in the manga. And then the anime, I'm like, I don't know if they just. Maybe it's because it was just such a simple thing that it wasn't necessary to make major changes, but they didn't. I know the only really, really big change I can think of off the top of my head in Ghost Hunt is a scene where Takigawa gets hit. Where he doesn't in the anime, but he did in the manga, in the light novels. Like by a ghost, not like somebody didn't just come up and punch him. And so many of the reboots, even though they're trying to do like the extended stuff that didn't get covered in the manga, are doing it really poorly. So like with FMA Brotherhood, when they did that one, it made no sense to cover Lior or whatever, but then to skip Yoki. They had Yoki as like a afterthought, but Yoki is actually a character in Brotherhood more so. So it's like when he came back, I know how many people were like, "Who is this?" Especially first time watchers, and it's like, guys, Dicey's important. Hi, guys, Lincoln. And then I'm still really pissed about the Hunter x Hunter reboot. I'll never forgive them for that one. So bad. not only did they cut out some of my favorite scenes from the original exam arc, which were so well done in the first anime, they just yeah, I'm not gonna watch I couldn't even. I was waiting like to see because I was like, maybe I'll go watch at least the NGL arc because I wanted to see that. But it's like the more and more that came out of it, then they started changing hair colors, then they changed genders of a character, and I was like, no, I'm out. Like the original anime had for the first series had a couple fillers in it. Yeah, it did do that. I also don't like the new haircut they gave Kurapika. It doesn't look like the original one looked like his manga. Oh, the Hunter x Hunter 2000 was it 2011? Gosh. It's already that old? 2011 reboot? Cause yeah, Kitten, you watched that one with me originally. The original, what is it, like 99 anime? And it kept getting the which I liked how they did that one because they kept doing the darker storylines as like OVAs later, and they were able to keep the feel of it that way. But yeah, there was two filler arcs really early on in the original TV series, but other than that, the only major change there was is in the Geni Ryudan OVA, which is such a dumb change, but I always love it. So in the manga, after Kurapika, quote unquote, thinks he has Kuroro, in the manga, he's driving the car while punching him. In the anime, Leorio's driving the car while Kurapika punches him. Yeah, the original was just so well done, and it's really close to the manga. I mean, that's just it. They took out the entire scene in Trick Tower where they break through the wall. I was like, what? No. Like, that was like one of the best scenes. And even the fight with the candle wasn't as good. Like, yeah, no. I'll fight you guys. I've honestly not touched the Fruits Basket reboot because I'm so worried about that one. And I know I've read the manga, so I know how it ends. And I know that the original anime was definitely different, especially near the end of it because, they wanted to end it. But at the same time, just like, I don't know. Yeah, you're probably not missing them. The first series was cute. I watched it with Anime Club, and then that's why I was like, I'll pick up the manga because I know there's some stuff they didn't cover. Back when I had time to read manga. You know what I'd actually like to see them do a reboot of? Full Moon no Sakashite. I would like to see them cover some of the stuff in the manga they didn't cover, because there's a lot of Meiroko stuff that didn't get in there. Like when Meiroko and the grandmother go to the concert together. That one I think diverted enough from the original anime that I could handle it if it got animated. There was another one, I can't think of the name of it, but the original manga, it was another, yeah, like All Idol stuff. But yeah, there was another one. It wasn't idol based. It was a magical girl, kind of. It wasn't a true magical girl in the manga, but the anime made it like a magical girl series. It was so weird. I can't even remember who the author was of it though. I just remember when the anime first came out because the manga was still coming out. This is like years ago, and there were interviews in the back of the books, and she was talking about it, and she's like, "Wow, they took such an interesting approach at it. I'm looking forward to it." And I was like, "This is not the same story." Oh yeah, I don't know. And Tenemura still has a pretty big fan base. Didn't Gentleman's Alliance Cross get an anime too, or was there something else of hers that did? I don't know. I follow her on Twitter, but I don't pay attention. I just look at her art. I also wouldn't mind seeing them do the second half of Flame Eureka. Don't touch the first half. You guys did fine on the anime. It was really well done. And they can't beat that voice cast for sure. Yeah, that was another one that I was like, the second half is just so cool. Plus the tie-in for Mirror. Well, Mirror is another one they screwed up when they animated it. Oh man, another one they screwed up. It wasn't a reboot too. Arata Kangarturi. I'm still pissed off about Nagu. I know Ranafe shares my opinion on that because I was watching it with her. The actually go to her house after class between work and we'd watch the new episodes of Arata together and rant at them. I hated how they really how they just messed that one up so bad near the end. It's also weird because there's still so many series that they haven't touched and yet they're going back and doing reboots and some of them aren't even that popular. I know some of them it has to do with like anniversary stuff, but I'm still like it's weird. I'm ready for that Zos Kias anime. I'm actually really surprised they haven't done anything like even talked about Genbu Kaiden yet. Because Fushigi Yugi still has its own following. I also love bringing up Fushigi Yugi to the isekai crowd because they're all like, "Oh, isekais," and I was like, "Dude, let's go old school with isekais." Although actually, I remember during that time because there were actually a lot of isekais coming out around that time. Like right after when that one got big, it was but they were all that kind of feel. They were all shoujo isekais, and they all kind of had the girl getting sucked into another world. But it wasn't getting hit by a car or dying kind of thing. But I remember because like obviously Fushigi was like my first big one, but actually one of my favorites was Haruka Kara. No, it was Kanata Kara. Like they both technically can be read the same or mean the same, but the reading. Yeah, I really the only ones out of the newer isekais I've enjoyed are the crazier ones. Are the ones that look at it in a more satirical look. I do enjoy Shield Hero just because of the fact that it kind of went a little darker on it than the general happy feel. And Bofuri isn't particularly good, but I enjoyed it because it was just it was very at times like borderline satire. I will say Shield Hero is one that I actually like the anime better than the light novels for the first parts of it. The writer is a female, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, obviously I'm a female writer too, but I noticed she has like this habit of really like she literally tried to make all the female characters like borderline perfect, at least in the eyes of the main guy, and it made no sense for the character at all. Because Naofumi didn't really care about that. That was made pretty clear early on that he just like no, I don't care. And then like she kept bringing it up in the light novels, and like every girl was like pretty, and I was like, oh my god, it's one of those. But that was in like the first book or so. She got better. And there were a lot of interesting storylines though. Like I didn't like the way they handled the island arc in the anime, but they just rushed it as a problem. Not that it was a training arc, so I can see why they didn't spend too much time on it. But there's a lot of things that got missed. I wanted to see the Kigu's animated. Also, there was stuff that's setting up for the next couple seasons that I don't know how well it's gonna work now because they didn't really introduce the character well. She's kind of in there, so we'll see. The next season comes out in October. I think I wanna read the light novel that's about the person who got turned into a vending machine in an isekai. That one sounds ridiculous. But yeah, so many isekais are just the same. I think in general, that's why some series stand out in general more than others, just because they're different, like when they come out. What is that one? I think it's called Inspector in English, Kyokusuri. When that one came out, when first was released, hey, I got the letter done. I was really excited because I was like, oh man, it's like another supernatural mystery series. It's crap. No, it's utter crap. It had so much potential, and I don't know if it's just the way the anime did it or if that's how the manga is too, but I was not impressed. I have seen every episode of the first season except for the last. That's how bad it is. I couldn't even finish it. I was like, I don't even care to see the ending. I forced myself to watch it, and I was like, it was upsetting. I really like supernatural series, mystery series, and I like folklore-based series. There's not enough of them. Was it Kimono Jihen is one? I want to see that one, but I'm waiting out for the season to come out. And like, I can't find my mouse. It's here. I don't know if there's any other particular series I'm looking forward to seeing though that are coming out or anything though. I haven't really been paying attention to much. I do need to see there's some derpy Sherlock Holmes mystery based ones I need to watch that may not be good, but I'm gonna watch them anyways because Sherlock Holmes. I am the kind of person who doesn't figure out what's coming in big in anime until like, 2 years later. No, no, I actually know a little bit more about that as being somebody who does commissions and then of course helping out with Akiba Soul pre-orders and stuff now. Jujutsu Kaisen looks pretty good. But once again, I kind of want to wait for it to have more out first. I've had a lot of people tell me I should watch it, and I'm like, I don't have time to keep following series as they come out. It's too hard. As it is, like Conan is like the only series that I quote unquote keep up with regularly, and I don't even watch it weekly. What I do is I wait for like 3 episodes to drop and then watch it, because typically that's one storyline. It's easier that way. I mean, it's not always true. And like this last time I let myself get behind by like 10 episodes because I got too busy, but also I think that one's easier because it's not as episodic at times. Which can be both, or it is more episodic, is that? Yeah, it's like there's not always like one continually long running backstory. Like they're more like you can watch episodes and storylines. I also want to find more time to play video games. I'm trying to relax more, it's hard. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I mean, I'm constantly stressing my body out to hell and back, so I gotta be careful about it. But I'm like, I just don't know how to turn stuff off. Like, how do you turn mind off? How do you stop workaholic mentality? The problem, I was raised, it wasn't my parents, it was just the society I grew up in and everything. And Why am I like this? But I'm not the only one. Yeah, a lot of my friends are the same, and it's like we just don't know how to stop it. Like I'm an insomniac because I can't turn my mind off when I sleep at night. Like how do people do that? I'm so jealous. Like sometimes it's just anxiety that I think about stuff I did like, years ago. Sometimes it's, oh, do I need to do tomorrow? Let's get a plan. Other times it's just, ooh, tell myself a story. Yeah, it's a mess. I try. I have found like certain things help me relax a little more. So like they help. Like sleeping with a sleeping mask helps a little bit. My mask is stretched out and I need to buy a new one, so I gotta wait till I get paid next week and I'll do that. Um, from teaching, the one job I get paid for, yay! And then mine luckily just sits next to my bed. I did find reading, uh, reading generally helps calm me, which I know sounds weird. Yeah, yeah. We don't have a door. Well, like we have a door, we just always keep it open, so that doesn't help. And the littlest thing will just wake me up anyways, especially when the sun starts coming through in the morning, even though we have blackout curtains. I wake up to every little sound too, because I'm a very light sleeper. Yeah, I found reading generally helps because it doesn't stop me from thinking, but it at least keeps my thoughts in one train that way. Obviously avoiding the phone right before bed, like so I don't, text or anything. I was reading on an e-tablet or ebooks occasionally, but I prefer reading like paperbacks or hardcovers. I have a hardcover right now. Yeah, and then some kind of background noise. We have a fan on sometimes, but we always have ocean noises by Google. I took a while, but I have forced myself to be like, no, you only get to read this much. Be like, you get one chapter, or if it's a longer chapter, or you get 2 chapters if it's shorter. Yeah, no, I'm the kind of person who accidentally stayed up, all the way to the next day before reading a book. Like, I'm gonna read this book, and then suddenly my mother gets up to do newspaper delivery back when I was a kid, and I was like, ah, it's 4:30. Oops. I just went with her that time. Yeah, I've gotten better. I definitely need time to unwind before I can go to sleep, regardless. I can't just like lay down in bed and go like, up, bedtime. Nope. Wong, on the other hand, lays down and is asleep instantly. Jealous. And yeah, like Arata sleeps on me most of the night, so like him shifting will wake me up. Wong moving will wake me up. Birds outside singing outside my window will wake me up. And then even if I can once I fall asleep, it's just hard to stay asleep. At least deep enough for me to feel rested. I've also tried to avoid laying in bed too long. Like, so when I'm in bed, I'm not doing anything but sleeping. Because that helps me, my mind is like, this is not a place to do this, it's a place to sleep. Yeah, that's what it's for. I'm actually probably gonna get off pretty soon anyways. Like, go on and do what you need. I have some people who've sworn by meditation, but I find that doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for anyone else. I'm zoomed out too much, I think. Going a little closer. actually had sleep studies and stuff done too. And yeah, my sleep stuff has nothing to do, at least, I mean, the pain doesn't help, but it also at least doesn't have anything to do with like not breathing or something in the night. Can't think of what that's called. Not narcolepsy, but that's another thing they test you for when you go in for a sleep study. I don't have that either. Yeah, it was funny. My sleep study came back completely normal, even though I slept like crap. I was like, oh, I feel so bad. Luckily, if I remember correctly, Wong dropped me off and my mother picked me up from that, so I just went home and tried to sleep more. But I didn't have to drive. It's always good. Welcome back! Oh, and all those like natural sleep supplements and stuff don't work for me either. They make me more tired the next day. And I don't sleep any better. Benadryl used to work, but it doesn't anymore. It does help me breathe though. It makes me very drowsy even if I can't fall asleep. It's the low dose though. My genetics have me metabolizing medicines quickly, which is why my painkillers aren't working. Yeah, they have me on steroids and they're not working. Like, yay! Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Like, actually, one of my painkillers is topical for the one for my leg, and Wong has been having some pain, so I put it on him, and it works for him, and I'm so mad because it never worked for me. At least not enough to make it worth it. Like, ugh. It's okay. I'm used to the suffering. Yeah, no, that seems to be how like all sleeping meds worked on me, no matter what the dose and stuff. Because I talked to a doctor and went through a bunch of sleep studies and stuff, and we tried stuff, and I even tried like the natural like melatonin and stuff at her recommendation, and like nope. That's okay. Occasionally, every now and then, my body's like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna sleep, and I feel amazing. Not very often, but when it happens, it's great. Well, it doesn't help, but at least the pain I'm having right now doesn't help because our neighbors keep smoking, and I'm allergic to their smoke, and I keep coughing, and coughing is what stressed it to begin with. leave it to me to pull a muscle coughing. I guess it's apparently not that uncommon, but still. One of the first things I got that wasn't directly linked to autoimmune. And we're, air purifier, our makeshift air purifiers and stuff running constantly, and it's just not enough. Ah well, c'est la vie. I am gonna keep losing my mouse. I'm actually gonna get off. So thank you guys for coming, but I want to go eat dinner. So go ahead, everyone, and have a good night. I might be on again a little later tonight with Wong to play some more Monster Hunter Raids. Other than that, this Saturday at 8 p.m. Central is my karaoke stream for the month. The theme is Slayers, so as in the anime. So all songs will be Slayers related. You guys can come and make a request. Otherwise, I will just kind of go through the list until I get tired of it. And Wong will kind of be joining me, but probably won't be singing. So, all right, everyone, have a good night. Go eat food.